Hi there, I'm Sarah Louise and welcome to my channel. I'm sorry, I'm really quite poorly today. I think you can probably see it in my face and my eyes, but I really wanted to come on and record a few insights that I'd had recently. I do feel like I've been really pulled recently actually to really just be again and go into that state of just complete being and allowing. I sort of ebb and flow with things, and I definitely had sort of started to lose myself slightly in the 3D world. And I feel like, I've been really aligned to come back within myself completely. And I often feel you end up having a couple of medical things sometimes to cause you to just listen and go within. Yeah, I got bitten and I had to have a tetanus jab, which I don't even know if I'm against, because I'm not really big on vaccines and any form of medication because I'm super natural. But on that particular occasion, in the heat of the moment, that's what I chose. And I've been kind of feeling really off since. And I've had something weird happen with my ankle as well. It's been but I do really intuitively feel that, I'm just being called to really rest, because I was getting into a thing where I was kind of doing a lot of sort of doing and a little bit less being, and I'm starting to feel quite a lot better, but I don't feel like I have my kind of vibe back. But anyway, so with regards to state, obviously it's not that I believe that we need to be in any state to manifest, because we're manifesting our desires constantly all the time. All you really need to do is have a belief and a knowing that it's yours and it will be yours. So state is kind of irrelevant. You can be completely depressed and feeling like crap, but if you have a deep enough knowing and a belief that your husband is faithful and committed to you, you could go through a lot of things in your life that are not connected to your husband that would drag you down, but as long as your belief is strong in that area, that's fine. Now, I still personally, and you can have your own opinions on this, and that's fine. We're all here just sharing our opinions and our experience. But I am a big believer that state is hugely important. I look at a lot of, I never like to go and, I don't know what happened then. The screen just vanished. I'm not a big person for talking about other coaches or or talking about anyone else and what they're doing, because everyone's doing their bit and sharing what they've got. But obviously, I do watch other people and I do go for inspiration to people. And for me, I find that there's some people that I don't find lift me vibe wise, and they don't feel particularly heart-centered, but they empower me, or they make me feel super empowered that I create my reality. And then there's other people that I watch that seem to kind of open my heart, and I feel like really high vibe, but I don't feel so empowered. So I kind of going into whatever side I want to go to, depending on, what I feel like I need to be doing that day. And for me, there isn't a huge connection with, there's the knowing you create your reality, and there's the powerful side of that. And then there's that truly heart-centered, radiating energy. And they seem to be able to exist, at least from what I've seen, out of connection to one another. So I'm really all about believing that there's important aspects from both sides, and, kind of melding them together. For me, state is really important, because state is kind of what we're going for, right? At the end of the day, we're not really going for having things. We're going for feeling love. We're going for feeling amazing. We're going for feeling free, and we're going for feeling flow. And just that complete radiance. And when you're in that state, you draw everything to you anyways. I guess it's what they would call the vortex in law of attraction. And And whilst I don't believe you need to be in that energy to manifest at all, because it's just your dominant thoughts and beliefs on things that manifest consciously, so you can, yeah, be going through a really bad time, but if your belief is strong enough on a subject, then it doesn't matter. Which is why I think often when you're in that high vibrational state, you can bring a lot of things in, because it's sort of, from my experience, it like tips you over the edge when there's things that are borderline believable, and then you lift your state and you feel more empowered, and you just tend to bring in those things, which I think is the things that unfortunately tend to kind of leave the first two, because you brought them in from that kind of elevated state. You tipped yourself over on the belief, and if you don't continue to hold your beliefs, then they're the things that when your state drops, will be easiest to kind of drop out. Now, I really believe state is kind of what we're going for. We want to go for feelings, we want to go for just that feeling of empowerment and high vibe and heart-centered. We don't really want to have all the things in the world, but we're feeling kind of low vibe, because it's not really the ultimate state to be in, right? So whilst I don't believe it's necessary to attain any kind of state to attract things that you desire, what I personally think state does is it changes what you do desire. And the same with evolving and observing your ego and your programs and your limiting beliefs and your patterning, all of this stuff. It's changing your core desires, and you're going to start desiring different things and for different reasons. Like you might desire £1 million, and people will be like, well, there's nothing wrong with it. You can have whatever you desire, and that is true. You can have whatever you desire. But if you're not really looking at why you want that £1 million, then you can easily be manifesting it from a place of ego, and then it's just going to remain unfulfilling. So if you're like, I want £1 million because I already feel free and abundant, and I just want to be able to express that, and I want to do fun things, I want to do amazing things, or I feel like I want to work on this project and it takes having money. But if you want it to feel, if you want that money because you in some way think that money is going to make you more respected or more liked or more powerful, like if you're coming from a place of attachment to that thing you're manifesting, then it's going to be unfulfilling, or at least that's how I see it. We've all manifested things and then actually realized maybe we didn't really, they weren't really that fulfilling. So it's not a wrong thing to do. Like, we can manifest whatever we want. We're here to experience. We can have literally whatever we want. That's how I truly believe. But when it comes to what's truly fulfilling and truly connected to our authentic selves and truly from a place of heart and love, then I think that things we want and the way we want them and the reasons we want them for are going to shift as we increase our state and we come to a more heart-centered, loving, being in a joy place. So for me, the two kind of work hand in hand. Actively manifesting really works for me because it helps me see where my limiting beliefs are, and it helps me to process them and work through them. But I also feel like there's this really important journey of seeing through your ego veils and aligning with your true self and with your heart-centered self. And both encourage non-reaction to your 3D environment, I think, and doing the inner work and the inner processing. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out because I think there's a lot about not needing a certain state, and I completely agree with that. We don't need to be in any state. We just need to know, and we need to affirm. But I still personally, and this is my own personal belief, feel that heart centering and raising our vibration is really important because it's allowing us to align to ourselves. It's allowing us to just enjoy the moment, whether we have the things or not. And really, that's what I would consider conscious manifesting, which is what I am working on and what I feel to be the most satisfying, is manifesting, working through limiting beliefs, but also trying to lift our vibration, radiate, and be in flow, and allow things to come in that are in total alignment and I honestly believe that our desires change according to our state and the things that we want and the ways we want them for. So yeah, you can manifest in any state, but I still believe there's an optimum state of beingness in which when you manifest from that state, it's just going to be more fulfilling and more aligned. But from a love perspective, obviously the others will be fulfilling from an ego program, but then eventually we're going to evolve out of that ego program. We're going to look back and we're going to think, oh, I wanted that because of an ego program, or I wanted that to feel better, or I wanted that to feel some way, rather than I am doing this to feel more bliss and joy within myself and then create from that space. So yeah, that's and I actually feel this is where I'm going again in the last few days, because I feel like it's really easy to lose yourself and start to go into the 3D and kind of start to build ego programs as you're manifesting. So I definitely feel like I'm being called back to just being. I like to kind of do a bit of a rotational thing based on my intuition. I tend to spend a bit of time actively manifesting, and then I sort of spend a bit of time when I feel called, just really kind of just being, appreciating, going within, and sort of working in tandem, and working in a mental diet within that as well when limiting thoughts come up. So I hope this video connected to some of you, and bye for now.